Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power.
But today, we explore the path of the one who chooses his own path. You pride yourself on your freedom, yet you have never made a single sovereign choice in your life. You believe you are an individual because you dye your hair, reject tradition, or listen to obscure music. In reality, you are a predictable consumer, reacting to algorithms specifically designed to flatter your sense of uniqueness. You do not choose, you are channeled. You mistake impulsive obedience to your appetites for liberty. The matrix does not need chains when it has comfortable slots to fit your programmed rebellion. Here is the philosophical flip. You believe that standard, safe paths are prisons. The hard warrior truth is that paths without standards are quicksand. A path without gravity, without sacrifice, is not freedom. It is drifting. Drifting is seductive. It demands nothing. But the drifting mind is easily conquered. Your shallow definition of individual choice is the very reason you are mentally weak, spiritually hollow, and permanently unsatisfied. You are waiting for permission that a warrior knows can only be taken. In the severe reality of feudal Japan, identity was not an exploration. It was a mandate. You were bound by blood and caste. A warrior served a master. This was the anchor of his honor. To lose that master, to become Ronin, a masterless man, was to walk the absolute limit of feudal existence. Ronin were viewed with deep suspicion. They were wild elements in a rigidly controlled ecosystem. Many withered. They begged for a new lord, or they turned to banditry, surrendering their dignity to survival. Drifters. But some masterless warriors forged a different path, Musha Shugyo, the warrior's solitary pilgrimage through a hostile landscape, choosing intentional sacrifice over comfortable slavery. Consider the story of the 47 Ronin. Documented history confirms that in 1701, Lord Asano Naganori was forced to commit seppuku after an incident at Edo Castle involving Kira Yoshinaka. His entire clan was dissolved, his warriors stripped of their status. Average men would have surrendered to the system. They would have pleaded ignorance, moved to the countryside, or quickly sought new employment. But 47 retainers, as confirmed by historical records, made a singular, unshakable choice, entering the amber-hued wilderness of Ronin status with a unified purpose that standard paths could not contain. To understand this path, you must visualize the internal friction of these 47 men. They had to abandon their wives and children, essentially becoming dead men long before their final act. They didn't just walk away from comfort. They embraced a tactical nightmare. Imagine Oishi Yoshio, as historical tradition suggests, degrading himself, drinking in tea houses, pretending to be a broken drifter, enduring the scent of sake and vomit to hide his intent from Kira's extensive network of spies. Picture the biting cold of Edo winter, the snow stinging his eyes as he stood motionless for hours, a simple straw hat shielding his identity, observing the high walls of Kira's mansion. This path was not a romantic escape. It was a cold, prolonged exposure to degradation that standard retainers were structurally insulated from. A path chosen precisely because it demanded everything. This amber path is accessible only when external reliance is destroyed. For the 47 Ronin, this destruction was total. They had no master, no province, no paycheck. Standard, sanctioned paths would have seen them scattered, seeking new masters or degrading themselves as commoners. But they used this extreme isolation as the strategic foundation of their identity. They did not drifter, they unified. It is said that at a secret meeting, they drafted a blood oath, committing themselves to avenging their master, a collective choice made by individuals who had no other choice to make. By stepping onto this amber path, they broke the feudal paradigm itself, proving that the highest duty is not to a master, but to the mandate you place upon yourself. The modern person, specifically the fragile pleaser, recoils from this amber path. He is unable to say no, letting others walk over his boundaries because he fears conflict more than he values his own soul. He believes he has choice, but every choice is made only after surveying the room for approval. He shapes his life, his opinions, and his path based on the comfort and consensus of others. He sacrifices his potential on the altar of belonging, preferring a sanctioned, comfortable prison over the terrifying isolation required to master his own life. He is not an individual. He is an echo.
Stop right here and confront your reflection. Are you halfway through this video, or are you just channeled by the next algorithmic suggestion? Already your mind is drifting, seeking the easy release of the next notification. This exact behavior, this flinching response to prolonged focus, is the mechanism of your modern failure. You cannot even finish a 10-minute video on individual choice without your attention negotiations with laziness. How can you choose your own path when you cannot even choose your next thought? Stop the drift. The fragile pleaser within you excuses this weakness by claiming he just wants harmony. This is a lie. Harmony requires strength. Pleasing requires weakness. A warrior's truth is that you cannot choose your path until you stop negotiating with other people's expectations. Claim your mandate. The art of drifting. Drifting is effortless. The art of musha shugyo is brutal. Drifting is following motivation. Self-discipline is executing when motivation is gone. The fragile pleaser is not making choices. He is reacting to stimuli, seeking safe harbor. Real choice means stepping off the edge where standard consensus ends and your raw, unvarnished discipline begins. It means enduring the weight of the silence, accepting the cold of isolation, and claiming total sovereignty over your internal kingdom. Master the drift. The path of the one who chooses his own path isn't about rebelling against rules. It's about having rules standard, so standard severe, that normal people cannot standard endure them. Standard consensus can only channel standard men. Standard paths are designed to manage mediocre souls, but when the amber path calls and external anchors are standard destroyed, a warrior does not panic. Drifting is the standard fate of drifting. Drifting the drifting average mind standard. Sovereignty is the chosen path of the Ronin. Choose the amber. When Oishi Yoshio and his retainers struck on that snowy night in Edo in 1703, as historical records confirm, standard consensus would have seen it as impossible. They proved that standard human systems cannot manage individuals standard unified by a chosen mandate. Step off standard the approved path. Suffer standard the amber path without standard flinching. Suffer standard the amber isolation without flinching, standard flinching, standard flinching. Stand alone.
Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.